Hi fellas, it's Nick. The reason I'm making this short video, I have a fella watches my videos and makes comments. His name is Bruce, and he has a YouTube channel called Bruce L. And it's a very interesting channel. He has a lot of different tools, and he shows you how he uses the different tools, whether working on motors or cars and so on. But anyway, I made a video and he made a comment and he asked me if I have any trouble in that area towards the back, how would I repair it, how I would reach it. And I just want to explain to him. Bruce, as you can see, the backdrop took it off, and I made it because of that reason. If I had any problems in that area, I could remove it. And it's not very hard to remove it. The reason I had to work in that area, I have two switches, and these particular switches you can use so that they work as one unit. And the switch that you see laying down, that's for the middle track, and then the one that's not there, that's for the outer track. And what was happening is that when I switched them with the remote, the middle switch would operate the way it should be, go straight and on the curve, but it would go very fast, snapping motion, which is the proper way it should be. But what was happening with the one underneath the upper track, it was hesitating, and then it would go into a straight, and then it would hesitate and go into the curve. So I was making a video, and what happened was I switched it so that the middle train that's on the middle track can go to the outer track. The middle track switched to the curve position, but the outer track at that time hesitated, but the engine just went off the track. So what I had to do was find out why that's happening. Now, I thought one of the reasons that it might be happening is that it's not getting the proper signal because it's underneath the upper level. I have another set of switches. One is under the upper level, but in a different area of the layout. And what I had to do is put an extra neutral, and I actually had to lower the wire almost where it was going to touch the switch, and it would just operate fine. So then what I did was I picked up the wire gradually into the point where it would work, but if any train engine going underneath it wouldn't hit the wire. So I thought that would be the same problem, but unfortunately it wasn't. That's why I had to take the whole thing apart, as you can see. And I had to work on the switch, and I found out it wasn't the fact that it wasn't getting a signal, it was a mechanical problem with the switch. And there's a rod that throws the moving part of the switch either to the straight or to the curve. And I had to take it apart and redo it, and it seemed to work fine. But I still don't trust it that much. So what I'm going to do, on the upper level I have the same type switch, and it's a right-hand switch. So I'm going to replace the one on the upper level and put it in the position on the lower level, and the one that I took from the lower level, which I worked on, is going to go on the upper level. So if that switch does give me a problem, it'll be easy to get out of. I won't have to take the backdrop down, and so it'll be much easier. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shut the video off. I'm going to put everything back together again. I'll put the video back on, and I'll show you how everything is supposed to operate. Alright, so I'm going to shut it off now. Hi fellas, I decided to make a quick video, the switch, and show you where not working properly. As I mentioned in the first video, I thought it was a signal problem from the cab 2, but it wasn't. It was a mechanical problem. What was happening in this area right here, it was binding. So when the signal came in, this is the motor, and there's a gear here, and if it's working properly, the gear would swing this to this point, and then of course the switch would either go into the curve or the straight. But it just wasn't working. So I found out that it was this piece right in here. For some reason it was binding. It wouldn't move. Even when I tried to do it manually, I didn't want to put too much pressure because I didn't want to break anything. So what I did, as you see, I took the cover off already, and I took these two screws out. And how I fixed it, I took this part off right here, and that's the part that where you have the light, and it either goes from green to red depending on the switch position. And what happened is that this piece right here was binding, but when I took this piece off right here and I tried to move it, and it did move, as you can see. It goes from one position to the other. And to be honest with you, I don't know what caused it to bind, but as I mentioned, when I took this part off right here, as you see, it works perfect. And then when I put everything back on the switch and I gave it current with the signal, which goes through the neutral, and when I tried it with the cab 2 control, it just worked perfectly. But this is what I had to do to fix it. Now, as I mentioned, I don't know why this happened, what caused this part to bind. It wouldn't move, but as I took this off, as you see, it just works fine. So I just wanted to make this little video to explain to you and show you what part I had the problem with. Now I'm going to shut this off, and then I'm going to make another video because I put everything back originally was, and also I put the switches and everything in the proper position. So we'll make a video and I'll show you how it's supposed to work, show you the upper level, which is the switch that has the problem. And as I mentioned in the first video, I didn't trust it, so that's why I put it on the upper level, because it'd be easier for me to switch it. So I'm going to shut this off and then I'll make the other video. Well, fellas, as you can see, I put everything back together again. The background is back where it originally was, and the two switches are all cooked up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the cab 2 and I'll show you how the switches work as one. And the way you do it, right here is the switch, and then you hit 3. So that's telling you that this is going to operate the number 3 switch, which I numbered it 3. And you'll see how it's going to go into a curve and then straight. Right now it's in the straight, so we're going to make it go curve. And as you notice, both switches act as one, as you can see that. Now that's in the curve position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run an engine over there, and you'll see how it works.
Dispatcher, are we still clear all the way? Over. Roger that. Keep her rolling. Over. Very good. Clear signals ahead. Out.
And now it's going into the curved part of the outer switch. Now I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to put the engine in reverse, and now I'm going to go back and I'm going to throw the switch into the straight position, which it went in, and now we'll run that engine backwards and you'll see how it works over the switch.
Dispatcher, train is moving. Over.
Now I'll make it go forward.
Dispatcher, are we clear through the next block? Over. Your route is line. Good signal indication. Over.
Now I'm going to throw the switch into the curve position. There we go. And we'll back that engine up.
Dispatcher, how's the track look? Am I clear? Over. Your route is line. Good signal indication. Over.
Now I'm just going to do it one more time. I'm going to make the switches go into the straight position now. As you see it did, by the indication that the light is green, and we'll just have that engine go forward.
Tower. Roger that.
Now the one that's on the outer, that switch came from the upper level, and the one that was there I put on the upper level. And I'm going to show you that switch. And that switch now is numbered 5, but I have to put the power on. Okay, I'm back, and we'll show you that the switch that actually had the problem. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little difficult, but that's the switch right there. And now that switch is number 5, and you're going to see how that switch. See how she switched? So that switch is working. And I just wanted to show you this, fellas. Bruce, this is how I reach different areas of the layout when I have to work on it. And that's why I made this video to show you how it's done. So I'm going to end the video now, and everyone have a great day.